Greetings, filthy demi-humans. I'm Kevin, and this is 11 Elden Things in the Weeping Peninsula. The Weeping Peninsula is the southmost landmass on the map. There are plenty of things and loot to find here, and because my name is Kevin, I can regretfully reveal 11 of these things to you. Anyone else who does this idea will be misbegotten and forgotten. Before I get to the locations, I'll brief you on what info I'll be discussing, as well as providing a map-only option for those who want a more blind experience. So stick around, spoiler-free gang. So I'm not going to read the guidelines in every video anymore. This is the 5th of these I've done at this point, and I don't want to waste people's time. I've tweaked the rules a little, so if you want more info, you can read them in the description. The content I will be covering here will be limited, but for those who want even less information and only want the map locations, you can go to this time or click the map-only timestamp in the description. You have 10 seconds starting now to skip ahead if you want. Feel free to explore the map there, but for everyone else, let's get to the list. The first thing we're going to be covering is churches. I can't say this for all the churches in Elden Ring, but for the Weeping Peninsula, all 3 churches have a sacred tear. If you don't know, a sacred tear is an item you can use at a grace to increase the potency of your healing flask. And so what that means is every time you drink the healing flask, it will do more healing. These are very strong to your healing capabilities. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about them being 3 in this area. I don't know what the devs were really thinking, but I'm not going to pass this up personally. Aside from that, there are these 2 shields in this area and the Flame of Frenzy spell, which is the miracle that allows your character to shoot fire out of their eyes. The second thing we're going to be covering is catacombs. You might have figured this out already, but these statues always point to catacombs, of which there are 2 in this area. The way it works is when you interact with these statues, they point to the roots, and those roots always happen to be here at the end of the boss gate. I'm sure there's some sort of lore or story significance with these statues, but for now, all you need to know is that they point to catacombs. The catacombs in this area will reward you with a total of 2 ashes, one of them being very strong. And there's also a gargoyle gate in one of them that leads to a cookbook, which you can get if you want. Thing 3 is the area around the demi-human forest ruins. Here you will be able to get a magical staff, the crystal burst spell, as well as the shield of guilty, which is a shield that has the thorns effect on it. Just north of this area, there's another wondrous physic piece, which is good for increasing your faith temporarily. Location 4 is at the minor Erd tree. Here at the center of the map, you will be able to get 2 more wondrous physic pieces, each with their different effects. Aside from that, there is the lightning strike spell and this shield on either side of the cliff. Go to both sides if you want both items. The 5th thing on our list are these walking islands. There's only 1 of these in the Weeping Peninsula, however there are more of these throughout the game. And after you make these islands sit down, they have a very specific, important use. When you kill large, important bosses in this game, you get an item called Remembrance, or a boss soul. These boss souls can be used at a certain vendor to be exchanged for specific boss weapons. Each soul has 2 different weapon options that I can pick from. However, 1 soul means only one of those choices can be made. If you want the second weapon, you can go to one of these buildings and duplicate the boss soul. This is an in-game mechanic, it is not an exploit. However, it should be known that there are more boss souls than there are these islands in the game, and each of these islands are one-time use. So make sure the item you're duplicating is worth it. Spot 6 is located in the Witchbane Ruins. This location will reward you with the Ambush Shard spell, but more importantly, there's an NPC here. You might not find much to do with this NPC at first, but they will be important further down a quest line, so do not attack them, unless you want to, but don't.
We interrupt this program to bring you this commercial message. Tired of not knowing where you're going? Afraid of the dark? Sick of getting lost in caves? Well, head on down to Greg's Isolated Shack. We're selling revolutionary pocket lanterns for 2 payments of $9.99. Just turn this bad boy on and never be afraid of the dark again. Look at that beautiful face. Now you can be disappointed sooner when you turn around in caves without knowing it. Now you can finally shine brighter than all your friends. Now you can finally see who's stabbing you in the back. Wow, sick lantern. Never equip a torch again. Head on down to Greg's isolated shack.
Have a safe journey.
Spot 8 is located here at the bottom left of the map. The tower here will give you access to a talisman which increases your HP slowly over time. And I mean very slowly, but still an interesting charm. Exploring here may also help to show the scale of the map if you have not yet traveled very far. The ninth thing we're going to be talking about is night-specific encounters. Traveling to these two locations at nighttime will provide you with some interesting goods. Between these two encounters, you'll be able to get this axe, this flail, as well as the Ash of War barricade shield. Speaking of shields, location 10 is right next to one of the night encounters from location 9. Taking this jet will allow you to get up on top of this tower where you'll be able to get the turtle shield. It is a very large shield, and when not directly equipped, it goes to your back and you can cosplay as a Ninja Turtle if you so desire. Just nearby this, there's also this Rise Tower, which after completing the puzzle at the front and getting to the top, you will get a Memory Stone, which allows you to equip more spells. The last thing on our list is Castle Morn. Though this location is a legacy dungeon, it is not as big as Stormvale Castle. Their size is roughly the same, but Stormvale Castle is very layered, whereas Castle Morn is more like a school gymnasium sort of build. Within the castle, you'll be able to find a claymore, a steel wire torch, a whip, a greatsword, which I will not show here, as well as a talisman that increases the damage of the last hit in the combo chain. More importantly in this location is one of two NPCs. The NPC at this location and this location both have a connected quest line that requires you to go back and forth to progress. So once you've done everything in this entire continent, I recommend you check these two NPCs again and make sure everything's going according to plan. You should know when everything's resolved. So that was 11 Elden Things in the Weeping Peninsula. This video took me a bit longer to do because I wasn't sure on how I wanted to classify the 11 things. There are a lot of valuable things in this area, and I did my best to sort of encapsulate as much as I could. For those who skipped ahead, here's the map. No more spoilers from this point on. You're going to explore these locations in any order you want, but again, some of them may require prerequisite items or have other restrictions. If you're using the map only, you might be kind of confused, saying, why are there more than 11 dots? I'm not going to explain that. This is 11 things, not specifically 11 locations. I don't know, suck it up, go explore the dots. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see a different area sooner rather than later, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get to it. If there are different things of information that you would like me to include, let me know. Feedback is always appreciated. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Remember to feed Torrent, praise the ring, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.